So hello everyone, welcome to Triaright. This is back 365. Myself Sujit. So in this session, we are going to discuss some more example related to our recursion. Okay. So guys, this is the last video of this recursion part. Okay. Because in the recursion we are just try to implement the same logic in a different way, because we are already seeing how to create Armstrong number, but here the logic will be same, but the we can say that the statement of the writing it will be different, because it will be taking less line to execute. Okay, that's why you need to understand each and every control flow so that you can create in our functional oriented or we can procedural oriented, because in the interview we cannot sure about that which type of question they might be asked you. If you know the control flow, how the control flow will going to watch each and everything, you can write easily. Okay, so guys, so for this session we are trying to discuss more questions that will be important, that might be chances they can ask you in your interview. Okay, so the next question for this session is write a recursive function to check. Okay, so write a recursive to check a given number is Pali prime or not. Okay, Pali prime. Why I'm taking this Pali prime at a time? Because we are till now we are not seeing this prime number, how to get that. So in this question we are trying to dealing with two questions. First we are trying to understand what is this Pali, and also we are trying to understand what is this prime also. Okay, so what do we mean by Pali, guys? So come to my pen. So first we are trying to understand here. So means this question will be say if I'm taking a user input as number. Suppose if I'm taking 11 as my input. So now I just want to create recursive function to check that the number must be a reverse number. Okay, reverse number and prime number also. Means if I try to reverse this number will be must as compared to our user input. So now if I try to reverse 11, so the reverse of 11 will be 11 only. Now what is prime number? So prime number says that that particular number only divisible by itself or 1. Okay, so at that time we can say that if both the conditions are becoming satisfied, so at that time we can say that this number is a Pali prime. Okay, so how to build this logic using our recursion, now we are trying to see now. So guys, here we are trying to create two recursion, because we know that a recursion is nothing but it is a function. So function is used to reusable the code. Means if I try to create both the function and we are try to use the ternary operator, so at that time we can use that particular things. So first we are trying to dealing with our reverse function. Okay, so how to take a number reverse number. So guys, here if I'm taking first, we know that in our recursion first we are trying to give a false condition. Suppose if I'm trying to create a reverse function. Okay, so this reverse function will taking two mandatory argument. First argument we can say that we are taking the user input number, and here we are taking one default argument that is called our result equal to 0. Why I am taking this result? Because we are trying to revert this number and we are trying to store. Okay, so in this logic, in this coding, my logic will be if I try to take the last digit and I will be stored in the first place. Okay, suppose if I'm trying to take the last digit, so how to take, guys? Every time we are just trying to use the concept called our non-modular division 10, we can get that particular things, guys, right? So but here we are not using this, we can say that our loop setting. So here how we can get that, we are trying to see now. So first we are trying to fix what is my false condition here. So if my logic will be I want to use this one. Okay, suppose if I want to take this one 11 reverse, so in this case first I have to decide a false condition. If my number value becoming 0, till now I need to stop my iteration. So here first condition I am passing, if num double equal to 0, I need to return that. But still now we are not sure which value I need to return. Okay, till now forgot about that. Why I am taking this res also, you are trying to see now. So guys, if this condition becoming satisfied, means till now the number becoming only that only. So now in this case, we are trying to use the logic how to do that. Okay, so in case of our procedural oriented and our functional oriented, what is my logic? First, I need to take the last digit. Okay, after I am getting the last digit, I want to store in my result variable. So result equal to result into 10. After that, I just need to add in my last digit. Okay, so here also, if you see also here, it will be taking last one called our 1. So here how the execution will going to happen. As of now, my res value will be storing 0. So 0 equal to into 10 plus my reminder value. So in this case, my REM will be 1. So here it will happening 0 equal to, so 0 into 10, it will be becoming 0. So my reminder value will be 1. So here it will be storing 1 as my output. After getting that, now I try to update this number. So now float division 10. After updating, my number value becoming 1 only. So now we are trying to find the last digit. After we're getting the last digit, as of now, my result value becoming 1. So here it will going to happen 1 equal to 1 into 10 plus 1. So here it will be becoming 1 equal to 1 into 10. It will be give me 10. So 10 plus 1, it will be give me 11. Okay. So we are taking 11 as my reverse number. Also, we are finding the reverse number also same. So we are trying to use all this concept in a single line. So we know that if I try to create a recursive function, means a function will be calling itself inside a function. So here we are trying to use the return, because we are trying to return the output, guys. Here means that this return will be returned to our function call. So here only we are trying to calling this function. Okay, so here we are trying to call this function again. So here I am calling this reverse function. So this reverse will be taking two mandatory argument. First one called our num and second one called our result. If I'm not storing this result, I cannot send outside the function. That's why here I'm taking this result. So first it will be taking num. So guys, as of now, if I'm trying to get last digit, did I need to pass again that number? Means I need to update that particular things, guys, right? So here I am taking num float division 10. Means as of now, my number will be becoming updating. Now the second one will be result. So in this case, we are trying to write the same logic here. So here we are trying to write result into 10 plus how to find this last digit. Here we can write num modular division with 10. Means in a single line it will try to execute. Okay, so here we can write the same thing. So result, so here I can write result into 10, okay, plus my number modular division 10. Suppose guys, if I'm passing like that, so it will be executing like this way. So means every time I just need to specify that first we are trying to use this concept, then only you need to start. Okay, so because we have our PEDMAS rule, that's why here I'm passing this bracket. Okay, so guys, just see. Now if I'm trying to run this one, so it will give me a reverse numbers. Okay, still the coding will be not completing. Why? Because here we are not returning anything, it will be returning a non-value, but we are trying to get a number. Then how we can compare both the things? That's why here what we are trying to return, we are not trying to return 1 or 0. Here we are trying to return this result, because after means after execution of this function, outside the function we are trying to compare. So here I can return this result. Okay, because every time the updated value means the addition of this value will be stored in our res variables. That's why after each and every iteration, means when my number value becoming 0, it needs to return that value. Okay, as of now we are deal with our reverse. So now we are trying to deal with our prime number. So prime number says that that particular number only divisible by itself, or we can say that 1. So now we are trying to fix the first, we are trying to dealing with our false condition. So here we are trying to deal with our false condition. So first we are trying to create a function. So here I'm creating a function called prime. So guys, just see here if I'm passing the number only, okay, suppose if I'm passing, because we know that if I try to check this number, first we need to generate, but to generate, we are trying to using the loop, but in this case, we are not using the loop. So that's why we are trying to fix that from where you need to start. Okay, guys. So here I can write my value will be starting from 2 because we are not checking for this one because every number it will be divisible by 1. That's why here I can directly pass num comma value should be start with my 2. After getting this, my first condition will be checking that particular number will be greater than 1 or not. If that number will be not greater than 1, I don't need to check that. Okay. So after that, we are trying to build our recursion logic. So recursion logic says that every time first we are need to give the false condition. So guys, in this prime, what is my false condition? Means half of the number we are trying to check. Because in the procedural oriented also, every time we are just trying to generate the half of this number. So now if I'm trying to compare, because my value will be starting from 2, which number I am taking 11. So I need to compare half of its number. So here I can give that false condition that if my value double equal to, okay, my value double equal to num float division 2 plus 1 because up to that number we need, okay. That's why when this value will be double equal to my num float division 2 plus 1 means as of now my num variable will be 11. So 11 float division 2. So it will be give me 5. 5 plus 1 6 means up to 5 we need to check. After that we are know that we are trying to return. But which value we are trying to return we are seeing in our upcoming iteration. So after we are getting this false condition, now we are trying to check the condition. Means each time it will be generating a value only. So now we are trying to use the logic. If the value will be modular division with the norm, then we can say that this number will not be a prime number. So here we can return that particular thing. So here I can return, okay, return false because every time we are just trying to check given number is prime or not. That's why here I can return false. After getting this, if this condition becoming false, so every time I just need to update the value. How to update this value? We are try to call this function again. So here I can call inside that prime. So guys, just see prime will be taking two mandatory argument. First argument called our norm. So after we are getting this norm, every time we are just try to fix that number. That's why every time I just need to keep the same number. But here I need to update this value. If I'm not try to update this, this condition will be never becoming satisfied. That's why here I can pass value plus 1. After we are checking for 2, now we are trying to checking for the 3. That's why here I'm passing value plus 1. So guys, just see, as of now, our code will be ready. But still, if I'm not returning this condition, it will be give me a false output, okay, because not. So here, if means all the iteration will be complete, still that number will be not divisible by anything, then at that time we can say that that particular number will be becoming a prime number only. So now we are trying to use this concept. Also, we are trying to use the ternary operator also. So here first I am trying to take the user input. So here I am taking user input by the help of our input function. So here I am taking enter the number. Okay, after I'm getting the user input from this number, now I just need to create the function. So first I need to create for reverse. Okay, so this reverse will be taking two mandatory argument. First one called our positional parameter, second one called our default parameter. After getting this, first we are trying to provide the false condition. So false condition means num double equal to 0. After we are getting this one, if this condition becoming true, every time we are just trying to return this result. If this condition becoming false, every time we are just trying to call this function inside this function only. So here we are trying to write the function, or we can say that call that function again. So return. First, we are trying to pass the number. So every time we are just trying to update this number, and in place of our result, every time we are just trying to multiply with 10 plus we are trying to add with my num modular division with 10 is the last digit. means as of now we are dealing with our reverse number. So now we are trying to dealing with our prime number. So here prime also taking two mandatory argument. First one called our norm and second one called our value, because we are trying to check the condition from a given number. So that's why here I am passing value equal to 2. Okay, so guys, just see. First, I need to check if the number will be greater than 1, then only I need to check. If this number will be becoming less than 1, then here I can return false. Okay. So if value double equal to num float division 2 plus 1, if this condition becoming satisfied, means each and every iteration will be complete, still no number will be becoming divisible by that particular number. So at that time we can return true, means the number will be becoming a prime number. If this condition becoming satisfied, every time we are just try to check that condition, num modular division value double equal to 0. If this condition becoming satisfied, we can return false, means the given number we are taking from user input is not a prime number. So here we can, after each and every condition checking, we try to call this number. Okay, so this prime will be taking number and value. So here we are passing the same number, but in this case value we are trying to update this one. After this one, if this condition becoming means if this condition becoming false, we can say that we can write our else part. So here I can write false as my output. Okay guys, so now we are trying to use both the things, because Pali prime says that a particular number needs to be a reverse and prime. So here we try to use this one. So here we are trying to use the ternary operator. So here first we are trying to pass the condition. So first we are trying to use the reverse, means the number should be reversed. So after we are passing this number, it will be returning a number, because here we are trying to return that thing. So after we are returned, the value will be returned to our function call. So now we are trying to compare with my user input. If both conditions are becoming satisfied, we can say that this is a reverse. But still we are trying to check for this prime number. So here we are trying to use our AND operator, because if I try to use our OR operator, means from both hand side, if one condition becoming satisfied, it will be returning Pali prime. But we are trying to check both the condition. That's why here I am passing reverse and prime. So here I need to pass prime of our num. Okay, means it will be written either true or false. Here also it will be give me true or false. If both conditions are becoming true, so in that case we need to write our true condition left hand side. So here I can write Pali prime number. If this condition becoming false, so here we can write else not Pali prime. So guys, just see not Pali prime. Okay, so now I try to run this one. So first this function will be taking the user input. After taking the user input, first directly it will be come to my print function, because we are just creating both the functions, still we are not calling. So if I'm passing 11, it will be give me Pali prime. If I'm changing the user input also, still it will give me the correct output. Just see 13 is a prime number, but it is not a reverse number. That's why it will be give me that particular things. Okay, so this is the control flow behind this to check a given number is Pali prime or not. Okay, so now where the next question for this session is write a recursive function. Write a recursive function to check given number. So to check given number is happy number or not. Okay, happy number means that particular number must be 1 or 7, single digit, then 1 or 7. So how to do that, we are trying to see. If the particular number will be not a single digit, we are trying to square every time. So we are trying to see that particular logic, how to get that. Here also we are trying to use two functions. First function we are called square. So how to get a square of a number? So first we are trying to use this function, okay, directly. So for this square will be the logic will be same. Every time we are just try to take the number. So first we are trying to provide the false condition. Okay, so here I am passing the false condition as my norm. Okay, so here I can pass if norm double equal to 0, we can pass. After that, if this condition becoming true, so here we can pass return equal to 0, because we are trying to return that will be not affecting to our addition. So for the addition purpose, here I'm passing 0. After this condition becoming false, so here we can write the square of this number. Because we are trying to calling the function, it will be only taking one mandatory argument. So in a time, we are trying to pass the square. If the number will be, we can say that 14. So we are trying to square that particular thing. So first we are trying to giving the last digit. So num modular division with 10. After getting the last digit, we are trying to square with 2. Then we need to add that particular things. Okay, so here we are don't try to first square. First we are trying to get this last digit, then only we are trying to square, means we are trying to call this, because this function will be taking one mandatory argument number. So every time I just try to update this number. If I try to run this one, it will return me a square of a number. After that, now we are trying to check that happy number. So here we can check happy. So this happy will be taking one mandatory argument, that will be called our num. So first we are trying to check the given number will be greater than or less than 10. So here I can directly pass my false condition. So my false condition will be num less than 10. If this condition becoming satisfied, so here we are just trying to check the given number, means the number will be a single digit. So now we can directly check if the given number double equal to 1 or the given number double equal to 7. If the number will be 1 or 7, we can say that this is a happy number. From one of this condition, if becoming satisfied, we can say that the given number is a happy number. If this condition becoming false, so in that time we are trying to return. So what I am trying to return, I just want to call this happy again, because we are trying to call this function, then only we can say that this will be treated like a recursion. So here, if the number will be two digit, we are trying to square. So here I just want to call that square function, and this function will be taking only the number. Okay, so after that we are trying to use our ternary operator. So now we are trying to use the same logic. So every time I just try to take the user input. So here I'm copy this one, paste. Okay, so first we are trying to check for our square. So square will be taking one mandatory argument, that is called our num. So here we are passing num double equal to 0. At that time we are trying to return 0, because every time we are just trying to add here only. Okay, because here we are trying to add, that's why here I am trying to return 0. Okay, after getting, if this condition becoming satisfied, until that I need to update the last number, or we can say that get the last number, then I need to square up that. Okay, if I try to pass like that, first it will be multiply. So here I need to pass the bracket. Okay, first I need to find the last digit, then only I need to square. After that I need to add that by the help of our square. Okay, so the square will be taking one mandatory argument, the update number. After getting 14, I need to update that particular thing. So that's why here I am passing that particular number, guys. Okay, as of now we are trying to see the how to find that particular the square of this number. Okay, now we are trying to use this, we can say that the reverse, or we can say that the happy number, the coding. Okay, so here I need to create a function. So here I am passing happy as my function name. So here it will be also taking one mandatory argument called num. So here I need to first give the false condition. If the number will be less than 10, so here I can directly pass return num equal to num double equal to 1 or num double equal to 7. From both of these, one condition becoming satisfy, I just want to return. If this condition becoming false, means that particular number, there might be chance it be a 2 digit. So here I need to return, or we can say that calling that function. So here I need to call the happy. Inside this happy, I want to call this square, and it will be taking one mandatory argument, that is called num. So now we are trying to see our use the ternary. So first we are trying to use the ternary. So here I can directly pass this number. Okay, so because every time it will be either give me true or false, that's why here I don't need to check. Okay, if this condition becoming true, I need to write the happy number in my left hand side. So here I can pass happy number. Okay, if this condition becoming false, here I need to write our else part. So not happy number. Okay, so now we're trying to give some different user input to get that. Okay, so in our number, the happy number says that 1, 7, then we have 13, 19. These are treated as my happy number. So now if I'm passing 13 as my input, so it will be give me happy number. If I'm passing 8, so 8 is not a happy number. So here it will be returning not a happy number. So this is the control flow to check given number is happy number or not by using our recursion. So that's all for this session. Thanks for watching Triaright.